evening and welcome to the June 1st Barrow County School Board meeting. The invocation and the pledge is by me, so let's stand. Most gracious God, hear our prayer. We gather here as members of this board, and we thank you for calling us together. It is our privilege and responsibility to support, foster, and advance the mission of the Barrow County school system. We accept this task in total dependence upon you, for it is you who began this work, you who guide it and will bring it to its fulfillment. Send your creative spirit upon us. Open our hearts to recognize your presence among us. Open our minds to respond to your calling. Enable us to draw upon the wisdom and the experience of yesterday as we respond to the questions and concerns of tomorrow. Give us freedom to speak the truth boldly and with kindness. Give us patience to listen openly without prejudice. Give us confidence to discover and explore new possibilities. Give us wisdom to discern what is right and good and just. Give us courage to participate in your ongoing work of creation. We call upon you, most gracious Heavenly Father, to confirm our prayer and to support our endeavors. All glory, honor, and praise are yours, now and forever. Amen. We'll do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first thing on the agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes for 5/4/21 and 5/25/21. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second, Ricky and Beverly. Okay. I need also approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All right. All in favor, raise your hands. All opposed?
On the, Madam Chair, on the approval of the agenda, we do have a change. We'll need to ask one of our board members to ask for, and then a second also for a motion second. We, if y'all will recall, and it's number 4, if you'll look back on the consent agenda, the Goldbook Toolkit, there was a discrepancy in the number of teachers and the price, so we did a little research. We got back today, and there is a change. The number of teachers is actually 150, and we would say 250. So we will need to remove that and vote on it separately, or postpone it at the pleasure of the board. And Dr. Bowling is here if you have any questions about that.
Can I make a motion to take this off the consent agenda and discuss it further by itself tonight?
Second.
Okay, we heard from Ms. Stevens and Mr. Bailey. Thank you. Take a vote. All in favor?
Do that, and we'll put that up under new business. It's number 2.
There are no committee reports. We do have the superintendent's recognition
Yes, ma'am.
tonight.
Thank you so much. And we've got one of the best things we do here at Barrow. And so pleased we get to do it in person. We have our awards for our Barrow's Best, our classified of the year. So
yeah, essentially that is the case. Barrow's Best stands for Barrow's Exceptional Support Team. It's a employee recognition program that is somewhat modeled after our Teacher of the Year program, but it's designed to recognize support staff in 5 different categories who've shown exceptional customer service and gone the extra mile in making sure that they're performing their job in an exemplary manner. And so we're always honored to be able to recognize our employees, and we're particularly honored to be able to do that in person tonight. We have 5 categories of employees that we recognize. We have employees in the service area, school nutrition, support personnel, transportation, and then contributing professionals. And these that we're recognizing tonight are nominated. They can be nominated by anyone, students, parents, community members, their peers at their work location. Anyone can nominate them. And one of the things that we asked the people that are doing the nominations to do is to give us some examples. Tell us about this employee and why they would be deserving to receive that the award. And so as I present the awards, we're going to show you some of the quotes that were taken directly from the nominations. I'm not going to take the time to read all of them. I might highlight a couple of things to just give you a flavor of the employees and why they were deserving of that. Before we get there, I want to tell you what each employee will receive. And this is thanks to our sponsors. So we did have sponsors for this award, and I'll just mention them real quick here. Barrow County Farm Bureau, Clear Concepts Consulting Group, Williams Electronics, Peach State Federal Credit Union, Zaxby's, Public Supermarkets Charity, Jackson EMC. And I know you're familiar with those names because they do a lot for our school system and sponsoring many of the activities that we have. And we're particularly proud that they sponsor our Barrow's Best Awards. Because of their generosity, we're able to give to each of our award winners a nice plaque here that lists their category in their name, and just a thank you from us for the recognition of being Barrow's best in this particular category. And inside the little blue box is also a gift certificate of $50 that each of our award winners will get to use in whatever way they see fit. And so we're really pleased for that. So as I call each person's name, if you'll come up to the front, Dr. McMichael will give you your plaque. If you'll stay here till we've recognized everyone, and then if you will, on your way to get your photo made, Dr. Moten will give you the box, and hopefully it'll still have the gift certificate in it. If not, you might see Dr. Moten some new shoes come tomorrow. First of all, we'd like to call Steve Hall. And one of the things that really struck me about Steve's, the nominations comments, was that he's a role model to students. Now, Steve's job is fixing computers. But when he's in the school, he goes out of his way to be a role model to students, to engage them. He's always quick to respond whenever there's an issue. And the other thing he does is not just fix computers, but find ways to prevent problems from occurring so they doesn't have to fix the computers and can solve the problems before they become problems. So congratulations to Steve. So our next person is Mary Maples. Come forward, thank you. You'll notice as you're reading through, she's a very hard worker. She goes above and beyond to ensure that students have healthy and great tasting meals every day in a sparkling, clean kitchen. I've had the opportunity to eat meals prepared by Mary and her team, and I can attest to the great tasting, healthy qualities there. But she doesn't just do her work in managing the lunchroom. She's also ready to take care of students with whatever needs they have. She's a mentor and also serves our students and our staff out at Appalachia in lots of other ways, and well beyond her role as manager of the cafeteria at Appalachia. The next person couldn't be here, but I do want you to notice that Terry Head, who's the receptionist at Kennedy, was also an award winner. She had a little surgery and was not able to be here tonight. I presented her award last week, but I wanted to bring her to your attention tonight. Some of the comments made about her is a parent talking about making a first impression and how it really eases their minds to know that they're dropping off their child every day to someone who is that compassionate and caring, and just lets them feel good about being able to leave their students at school. She welcomes students, parents, teachers, and everyone with a smile and a positive attitude, and helps out in many other ways around the school. So we're very pleased and proud of Terry as well. In our transportation department, we have Melissa Courtney. Some of the things that she's encouraging and positive She knows that kids need to not only be seen, but also to be heard. And so she develops a relationship with kids. She holds them accountable to build good character and keeps in mind the needs that they have for safety and addressing health issues. She's also consistent in stepping up to assist others and is a real partner with the rest of our transportation team. So we're really pretty proud of Melissa Courtney. And last, we have Amy Dew. Some of the comments made about her is she's amazing with kids, parents, and teachers. She has a positive attitude and love for children that's immeasurable. It's hard to think of any one specific example because she's involved with so many of our young children and in their lives and getting them started in school with the services that they need to be able to be successful. So we're really proud of all 5 of our Barrow's Best winners and glad for these 4 being able to be here with us tonight. And we're going to get their picture so we can share that good news with everybody in our community. And so if you'll pick up your boxes and certificates on your way out, then Ms. Roundtree will get your picture as well. Thank you.
Special thank you.
Here in the making. Come up with these nominations and award everything that's going through.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
everybody. Thank you so much. Takes a village.
Good evening. Thank you for letting us have this time. This is a great follow-up to that. Our library media specialists, we have one at each of our schools, and they are considered teachers. So they are part of the Teacher of the Year process. We've had some as finalists at the school level and even at the district level and on to be a state finalist. But in this case, there's also the Georgia Library Media Association co-sponsors the Georgia Library Media Specialist of the Year Award. And to be eligible for that, you have to be identified as your system level Library Media Specialist of the Year. So we also recognize that program here. The award is to recognize the K-12 Library Media Specialist with dynamic, innovative programs at their school with instructional collaborations that foster engagement and achievement. So Barrow's System Library Media Specialist of the Year was announced in March, and I'm happy to share that Tammy Privet at Winder Elementary School is our well-deserving recipient. And in May, the region level winners were announced, and I'm proud to share that Tammy was also recognized as the 2021 Northeast Georgia Region Library Media Specialist of the Year. And from this point, the Georgia Media Specialist of the Year is selected from those region winners, and that will be announced next week. So I know you join me in congratulating Tammy on these recognitions and wishing her well as she moves on to compete next week at the state level. Now, Tammy's going to stay up here for just a minute because the Georgia Library Media Association also sponsors the Judy Saratella Exemplary Media Program. And that award is created to recognize the media programs that empower students to be critical thinkers, enthusiastic readers, skillful researchers, and ethical users of information in both vision and practice. The exceptional library media programs are ones that demonstrate these characteristics in a consistent and effective manner. So the Georgia Library Media Association recognizes and honors 3 libraries each year, one from each level. So in addition to her other awards, Tammy and the media program at Winder Elementary School were selected as the 2021 Elementary Exemplary Media Program. So congratulations to Tammy and to Winder Elementary.
Awesome.
And Dr. Neer is here to represent Winder Elementary, and I appreciate her support of Tammy and the program. And then Tammy's husband is here to recognize her as well. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good evening. Can y'all hear me? Okay. All right. Good evening. Each year, our K through 12 students participate in the Young Georgia Author Writing Competition. And y'all may remember a couple of months ago, Dr. Moten introduced and talked about our winner from last year, which was Emma Claire Kane. And this year, I want to share with you, Suzanne has pulled up there our system level winners from each school that you can look at. And we're very proud of them. They had to go through 2 layers of competition. One was the school layer, and then they came to the system level and they won at the system level. So that, and you have to win one to move up to the next one. So Suzanne, if you will pull up the next item. This is our winner at the RESA level. So after the system level competition, our kids go to the RESA level competition. And so we were fortunate enough to have Alyssa Holcroft as our winner, and she is a BASA student, Barra Sciences and Arts, Barra Arts and Sciences Academy. And so we're very proud of her. She's not with us tonight, but I hope her family's watching on the YouTube channel, and we'll know that how proud of her we are. And we waited to do her recognition because we wanted to see what the state competition came out of, but she was not a state winner, but we're very proud that she was a RESA winner. And we're very proud of our system level winners as well. So thank you. Oh, I will say that RESA sent her certificate in the mail. So she will receive that or should have already received that. So just wanted to let y'all know about that and how proud we are of those winners. Thank you.
Well, thanks for you presenting those awards tonight. And it's an honor to hear about all of our folks that are doing wonderful things for our school system. Now we're going to go to support services report. Dr. Green. Okay. Business services. Jennifer, I'm sure you have something for us.
All right, our sales tax came in for the month of May at $1,398,672.63. Not a record, which is fine because Bear County is still doing good for us. And then you can see the percentages there by year that were up 26.6% from the previous year. And then the little graph down there, I like to give y'all a visual to see where we are, and it still looks great. And then for our finance report, so our total fund balance at May 31st was $45,220,553. Our total revenues year to date is $130,837,944. Our total expenditures year to date is $118,382,444. Our revenues for the month of May was $8.9 million, and our total expenditures for the month of May was $10.6 million. So we were at 98% of the budget for revenues. We should be at 92% at this time of year. And then our expenditures were at 85%. So as always, we like to have our expenditures below the blue line and our revenue above the blue line. And we have our detailed report. Won't really go into that unless you have any questions. And then the last thing I wanted to present to you was our important upcoming budget, our public hearings. So we have 5 public hearings coming up. Today we had our first budget public hearing this morning at 10 a.m. We'll have our first millage rate public hearing at June 10th at 10 a.m. At June 10th at 6 p.m. we'll have our second millage rate public hearing. June 16th will be our second budget public hearing. So we have to have 2 budget public hearings and 3 millage rates. And so our third millage rate will be June 21st at 1 p.m. And then if all goes well, I'll report back to you everything that was heard at the budget, the public hearings. And on June 22nd, you guys will vote on the millage rate and the budgets for the fiscal year.
Jennifer, did you have
What kind
any?
of crowd did you have this morning?
Okay, I don't get my feelings hurt anymore.
Well, I think it deserves saying that people need to know that we do have these hearings, and if they have questions about how we spend money, they need to show up for these meetings because you're great at explaining it.
Oh.
And we want them to know how their money's being spent.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're right.
Thank you.
Thank you. System operations, Joe Purnett. Teaching and learning, Dr. Moten. Awesome. Planning and personnel. We're just moving right along. There's no old business on the agenda, and we do have some new business that now we've got to vote on. Other funds for budget fiscal year 22, Jennifer Houston. The superintendent recommends approving the tentative other funds budget for fiscal year 2022 for $68,546,252. So we take a vote for this. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Ms. Stevens and Ricky. And let's vote. All in favor? Okay. So that passed. So now we're going to go back to the goal toolbook by Dr. Bowling. And the superintendent recommends that Bear County School System purchases 150 licenses
150 instead of 200.
instead of 200 licenses of the Gold Book Toolkit. Licenses are to provide guidance to special education teachers working with specialized student population to verify the levels of instructional support and to individualize learning. Cost is $75,863 paid out of IDEA federal funds. So I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Beverly and Lynn. And so we need to vote.
Is there any
questions on this? Okay,
It's the same price, right? Just
Same
less
price,
money.
yes.
Yeah, I didn't see any changes.
so all in favor? It's approved. Okay, so we're going to go on down to the consent agenda. So there's a lot of reading, so y'all bear with me. Policy revisions, BCBI, public participation in board meetings. Dr. Chris McMichael, the superintendent, recommends removing policy BCBI, public participation in board meetings from the public comment and approving said policy. Policy KCA, public participation in board meetings. The superintendent recommends rescinding policy KCA, public participation in board meetings. This policy, along with policy BCBI, are being replaced with an updated policy, BCBI, public participation in board meetings. Number 3, Aruba Network Switches by St. Clair. The superintendent recommends awarding the purchase of Aruba Network Switches to the low bidder respondent, MXN of Woodstock, Georgia. Number 5, policy revision, JBCD, transfer and withdrawals. The superintendent recommends placing policy JBCD, transfer and withdrawals, on the table for public review and to the next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Education. Number 6, temporary waiver of policy GARK. The superintendent recommends waiving policy GARK specifically to allow employees who have currently accrued more than 30 days of vacation leave to roll those days over through November the 30th, 2021. The policy currently will not allow accrual of more than 30 days to roll beyond June the 30th. Waiver of policy IFED. The superintendent requests a waiver of policy IFBD solely as it relates to the Barra Arts and Sciences Academy and the requirement for a media specialist in order to allow flexibility to meet the unique personnel needs of the school. Personal financial literacy, number 8 course. Dr. Moten, this recommendation is respectively submitted to the superintendent for his recommendation to the Barrow County Board of Education to offer the course Personnel Financial Literacy, course number 545.06700 as a social studies elective for high school students district-wide. Guaranteed maximum price, number 9, guaranteed maximum price GMP for grading at Austin Road property. The superintendent recommends a guaranteed maximum price of $7 million to pre-grade the Austin Road campus for a future new elementary school, new middle school, and athletic facilities. Guaranteed maximum price GMP for early release site development project for future VASA 2 facility and mobiles pod unit. The superintendent recommends a guaranteed maximum price of $2 million to pre-grade a portion of the Austin Road campus for VASA 2. This GMP will allow for the provision of mobile units as necessary to accommodate growth at the Austin Road campus. Number 11, board resolution requesting DOE assistant in development of local facilities plan. The superintendent recommends allowing the State Department of Education to provide assistance to the Barrow County school system in the development of its local facilities plan. 12, office furniture for Auburn, Appalachia, and Holstenbach. The superintendent recommends accepting the highest price per line item on the attached bid tabulation sheets for the office furniture for AES, ATS, and AHS, and other staff if needed. Total cost will be approximately $69,233. We are also asking for a contingency of $7,000 for adjustments in the quantity and permission to go to the next lowest bid in product standards or timeliness of delivery becomes an issue. Does anybody have any questions about any of these? Okay, then we're going to take a vote. So I need a motion and a second.
Second.
Okay, we've got Mr. Bailey and Jordan, yes. We'll take a vote. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passed. Okay. So now we need to go into authorization for committees to meet.
So moved.
Second.
Ricky Bailey and Beverly. Okay. Everybody, all in favor, raise your right hand. All right, it's passed. So now we need to go into the executive session. So we're going into executive session to discuss or deliberate upon the appointment, employment, compensation, hiring, disciplinary action or dismissal, or periodic evaluation or rating of a public officer or employee, or to interview applicants for the position of superintendent.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
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 clear the room.